want to remind you, consistency is the key. Have the discipline to keep going every day. I'm doing 2-a-days right now in 100-degree heat, but I'm so infatuated with progress. Shout out to everybody out there who's fighting that battle of physical fitness. This is all sweat, no water. I do a no water workout. I never drink water. I now have a 2-mile cool down back to the car. Typically, I walk it. It is difficult because I just ran as hard as I can. Waiting on the missus and Ash to catch up. It is a brutal day today. 100 degrees plus humidity in Augusta, Georgia is no joke. So it's tough. What up, Rocco Glaze? Good to see you, man. Good morning. Shout out Divine Obsidian. How y'all doing this morning? We got to put in work. Good job, man. Here comes Ash and Kim. They did a great job. She's got to finish. So I'm going to take the dog for a little bit while she catches up. She got to get a turnaround point. It was brutal this morning. And we didn't eat dinner last night, so we ran last night. So running out here on fumes is never easy. You got to dig deep. You got done with some DB drills. That's what I'm talking about. Practice driving back to the quarterback. Getting out of your back pedal. Good job, my love. So proud of you. Come on. You thirsty, mama? Ash does not like walking without her mom. She'll be dragging behind me. She'll be fighting me every step of the way. If she thinks we're leaving her mom behind. She's right here, but she just keeps looking behind us over and over and over. She'll be doing circles around me, waiting for her mom to catch up. But it'll be a little bit because I'm going to keep walking and make her run. All right, so today's Wednesday. I'm doing a deep dive on, I believe, Arizona on the Patreon. Shout out to the Wildcats. I'll be doing a win totals prediction on Arizona today. It'll be on Patreon for all the MVPs. It'll be on YouTube for all the MVPs. If you haven't joined the MVPs, you will not see the video. So you won't know how many games Arizona's going to win. I know a lot of you guys are like, so what? Well, that's how you make money, y'all. Knowing is essential. Having knowledge on the teams, the depth charts, the matchups is essential. I'm out of breath, y'all. I can't even think right now. I am pretty depleted. I weighed in at an all-time low. Since we started this journey 2 months ago, I'm down like 16 pounds. And so that's pretty encouraging. Probably want to lose another 30, get back to my fight weight, be somewhere close to 215 or 205. But it's going to take real dedication and no complacency. Saturdays are tough because I'm pounding Dr. Peppers to stay up till 2 in the morning to give the MVPs good analysis on the fights. If you haven't watched the UFC fight with me before, it's all the rage. How good is Justin Flo? So I'm not here to disparage Justin Flo. I'm just going to tell you that, there's certain metrics that recruiting websites love, and they will tell you a player is a 5-star, 4-star, whatever. But when they get to practice and they get to the field and they get to those teams, they have so much that they need to prove, and there are players they need to beat out. Justin Flo hasn't done that. So he's got a lot of work before he makes a believer out of me. I want to tell you guys, there's a player. He's at St. John Bosco. He's a 4-star. And he looks like Junior Seau, or he looks like Troy Polamalu. He plays edge. And they're telling me how great he was, and he has offers from everybody. I just saw him at the Next Gen camp. And when I watched him go through the drills, I saw a certain amount of aggression and enthusiasm. And he was making a lot of noise on every cut, like, that kind of stuff. And it really caught my attention. Good morning. Come on, sweetie. Come on. Almost gonna catch up. So it really caught my attention, and everybody was talking about, hey, Mr. Rico, that guy right there's got 20 offers, and he's a sophomore, and he's gonna be a junior, and he's the future of defensive lineman and all this. I want to tell you, after watching him, and I don't want to say his name right now, but I will eventually, but after watching him, I thought, oh, this is why USC misses on defensive linemen, because he's not nearly as good as the other two kids I saw from Alabama. Just two dudes from Alabama. I think they're 4-stars as well, but nobody was talking about all their offers. Nobody was talking about anything. And I checked them. One of them has an offer in Florida. These guys are winning state titles in Alabama. They're going to good schools. And all the rave was this kid from St. John Bosco. And I'm telling you, he's not it. And you're going to make a mistake if you think he is. And that's kind of the way it is with Justin Flo. Is sometimes they identify these kids at camps and they don't know what they're doing. And I'm talking about the talent assessors. I'm talking about these guys who give out the stars. I'm sure the parents love it. I know the parents will retort back at me and be like, who are you? What credibility do you have? You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, my track record speaks for itself. I'm extremely accurate. And I'm trying to tell you that there are better players that they're not giving stars to. Or that they're not giving all the headlines to. And I remember I looked at the post-camp report. Hey, get down. I looked at the post-camp report. Come here. Hey, stop that. Come on, Ash. Mama caught up. Great job, baby. Way to dig deep. So the post-camp report, they had this offensive lineman, and they gave him MVP of the camp. And I looked. I got the tape. I watched him. Not the MVP of the camp to me. He wasn't in my. He might have been number 3 on the offensive line. Might have been, probably number 3, but he wasn't 1 or 2. And when you go and check and you're like, oh, he goes to IMG, they're just giving default awards out. They're not doing true assessments. They're just giving out default awards. They're just going, oh, that kid goes where? He's got what offers? Oh, he's the MVP of the camp. They did it with the quarterback at Elite 11. You think SMU would get an MVP of a quarterback camp? No. But the minute he flipped to Alabama, he's now the MVP of Elite 11. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? So when you start giving out Elite 11 MVPs to players based on their school or commitment, it's no surprise that I start looking at 2026 kids and they're going to camps, and depending on what high school you go to, they're giving you all the praise and the stars, because there's just no way. You watch the tape, you watch the film, you watch the drills, you go watch the huddle tape, and you go, there's no way this player is better than this guy. There's just not. But for whatever reason, these camps have no shame. They will give that player the accolade. And the reason they do that is because they want a pipeline with those schools. They want those schools' top recruits to come back to those camps. And that's how you get sustainability with, resources. So it's no surprise the best defensive lineman, the best offensive lineman, the best whatever position group is always going to be a player from a premier high school, because you want all the Bishop Gorman kids to come to your camp. You want all the IMG kids to come, St. John Bosco, Mater Dei, whatever. That is the reality of the situation, because there's no way you watch those matchups, those drills, the tape, the players, and you come to the conclusion they're coming to. There just isn't. So with Justin Flo, I believe a lot of it had to do with being anointed in high school, he and his brother, being committed to Oregon. You immediately start getting praise, and you're really not that good, unfortunately. Now, he can go out and have a good year. I hope he does. Good morning. But, it's one of those things. It's why all those kids from Corona Centennial got 4 stars that year. 4 and 5 stars. Corey Foreman, Gary Barnett. Who's the other kid? He's at Fresno State right now, linebacker. Tuivasa? Is it Tuivasa? The kid who hit Cam Rising so hard, he hit him into yesterday. That Pac-12 championship back in 2022. Oh, man, who was it? I can't remember. Man, my memory is... I'm depleted right now. I'm shot. Sorry. But that's kind of how that goes. Don't like it. I remember when Oregon was playing Georgia a couple years ago, and I didn't see him make a single play. Yeah, man. They want to pretend the recruits are equivalent, but they're not. You know, I was making that video yesterday talking about Texas A&M and their famous 2022 recruiting class, the greatest of all time. Got a rating from 24/7 Sports of 333. Total class rating 333. If you hit more options and you go to the class calculator, you can remove every player that's no longer at A&M. And I'm talking about in 2 years, they went from 30 recruits, the greatest class of all time. There's only 16 of those guys left on the roster. You cannot lose half your recruiting class and stay relevant. You can't lose half your recruiting class and 5 stars and starters and stay relevant. You just can't. That's not how it works. You're supposed to get the best recruits, retain them, and train them. And I know you guys are like, Rico, it's a new day and age in college football. Everybody's transferring. No. Very few starters on Power 5 teams at elite schools are leaving. You might get 1 or 2 all-conference guys leave. And if anybody does depart, it'll be because of a coaching change, something to that degree. Shout out to Alabama. But you're not going to see it the way people are talking. You're going to see teams lose players when their team is substandard at developing talent or can't retain them, or doesn't get them drafted, whatever. But there's no way. You can keep nucleuses together. It's happening. Trust, I evaluate every roster in America. So while some people are homers about their favorite team, there's other teams. Babe, is there a dry spot left on my shirt? Yeah. I'm trying to wipe my face and I just keep getting handfuls of sweat. I'm low energy, so I just got goosebumps. I think I'm really depleted right now. What prospect had the most hype that panned out and one had the hype that didn't pan out? So the prospect that had the most hype and didn't pan out probably happens every year, but the number one that comes to mind every single time that question is asked is Whitney Lewis. Did he play at St. Bonaventure or Lorenzo Booker? Go back and look at Whitney Lewis. Might be 2004, 2001, 2003, somewhere around the early 2000s. Number 1 recruit out of high school. Number 1 overall. Could never see the field at USC. Matter of fact, he just got outplayed by Steve Smith, the other Steve Smith from Taft, who was so good. Just quiet, unassuming Steve Smith outplayed the number 1 player in the country. So that was a choke artist. Corey Foreman, same thing. USC, now at Fresno State. Those 2 stick out to me immensely, but there's a lot. Excuse me. There is a lot. I'm going to say that for a fact. Now, who lived up to the hype? Well, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, when I saw him in high school, state title game against Thompson, his junior year, I went to the game. He was rolling to the right, and he threw a 50-yard bomb. The ball was in the air, 50 yards on the run. It just looked majestic, bro. Obviously, they didn't win the state title their senior year, but he was the greatest quarterback. Like, when I saw him, I just went, whoa, who is this kid? And then he wins the national title at Clemson. Trevor Lawrence lived up to all the hype. Obviously, Baker Mayfield being a walk-on twice. That's somebody who's overcoming insurmountable odds. But, yeah, Trevor Lawrence lived up to the hype. I loved everything about it, his game, and he was, he's been progressing accordingly. Good morning, Rico. With NIL in play, do you think silent commits are going to be bigger things for college football teams? No. I think it's going to be the other way around. I think players are going to be very verbal about their commitments because they want to drive bidding. You want to drive the highest bidder. Don't keep it quiet. Tell everybody what your deal is, how much is on the table. I think that's coming. Just like contract offers and disputes. In this situation, you're not drafted by anybody. You can you can compete and bid with everybody. So no, not going to be quiet. I think it's going to get more verbal, louder. And I think teams are going to advertise how much they're paying per position group, right? So just like Texas with their NIL deal, when they told you all the offensive linemen are going to get $50,000 each for the next 10 years or something like that. Yeah, it's going to get down like that. Once they all become employees at a school, you're going to learn the rate of the school, and then you'll go there accordingly. Unless they cap it at some point, it's going to be one of the most advertised things because, you know, you go to the highest bidder. Most kids do, unless they want to play at a school for proximity, unless they, you know, want to go to school where their girlfriend went to. They have some type of relationship with the coach and loyalty. Dad's the coach. You know, there's a few factors that can make you go somewhere. Oh, by the way, guys, I was right. How long ago did I tell you guys that Gundy's son, the quarterback, was going to go to Emporia State? He's now enrolled there. He's going to Division II Emporia State. Remember, he left Oklahoma State, was going to Ohio. Then he left the portal, didn't go to Ohio. And I did a video. I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to do an I'm Right video today. And I told you guys, Gundy's going to Emporia State. And nobody listened to me. Oh, he's not going to Division II school. You don't go from Oklahoma State or in Ohio to a Division II school. He can go to an FCS school. Rico, I think you're wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Homie's at Emporia State. I was right again. I'm from the future, y'all. I don't understand. I'm from the future. I'm not guessing. That's the weirdest thing. That's the craziest thing. Like, as consistent as I am with these predictions and these like out of the world predictions, people think I'm guessing. Like I said yesterday, that UConn and Memphis are going to be moving to the ACC. And people started writing me and were like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, just randomness. It's going to be South Florida first. What about Holy Cross, James Madison? I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Like, I'm not shooting the shit here. I'm not hanging out. I have sources. And I think I wrote that. Sources tell me Memphis and UConn will be replacing Clemson and Florida State in the ACC. That's a fact. It's going to come true. You guys are going to be in denial. I'm excited to see how the seeding in the college football playoffs works. I wonder where the best group of 5 team will be placed if they get home field. The best group of 5 team will be placed 12th every single year, no matter what, because the at-large teams will all be top 10. So they will be 12th, and they will play the number 5 seed. So they're going to play the best non-conference champion every single year. So they'll play the SEC runner-up. They'll play, yeah, that's how it's going to work. It's not going to work any other way. Rico, I'm tuning in from Spain. Oh shit, Connor, I'm international, y'all. Today's the day you get to make the ultimate I was right video on Dalton Connect. NBA draft is today. They did all these mocks a year ago and none of them had Connect in it. Boom. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, last year somebody asked me to do a video on the basketball transfer portal. And I don't talk about college basketball transfer portal. I don't even talk about college basketball until March Madness and conference championships, conference tournaments. But so here's what I did. I started looking for players, and I wanted to look for one player nobody was talking about. And that's exactly what Connor's talking about right there. Is I started digging into crates. It might have taken me 3 days to look for a player I thought was special and nobody was talking about. It's my gift, right? I just know talent. I just know athletes. So I go and I find Dalton Connect, and I make the video. This is a kid that nobody's talking about. Not division. It's not like he's on TV ever. Nobody's ever heard of him. And I make the video and I say, hey, guys, this is the baller. This is the guy I see. Everything about him is NBA. He's going to make a difference. He's going to transfer to a Power 5 school and be a baller. This was months before any reports of him going to, like, he started getting offers from North Carolina and offers from Tennessee, SEC schools, whatever. I was on it before the world, man. And Connor, shout out to Connor, he found the video, watched it because he watches everything I make. And he's like, Rico, this is crazy, bro. Like, this is as good as the Anthony Kendall video where I made a hidden gem video on a Division III player. And although he didn't get drafted, he made the final 53 for the Titans. And that's, he was only there's only 7 Division III players in the world in the NFL, and I got one of them right when no one else was talking about him. That's just crazy, but it's what I do. I dig really deep. I look for players nobody's talking about, and shout out to Dalton Connect. It worked out. How do players navigate transfer portal? Do they talk to coaches beforehand or just hop and hope the coaches watch their film? Divine. So, I'm going to call it third-party intervention. So the way it usually works is players who want to be in the portal. There's different categories of players. There's players who want to go to the portal and maximize their profits. Those players typically reach out to a coach. I'm talking like their high school coach, a trainer, a family friend. They reach out to me, just some third-party intervention, somebody who can speak on their behalf without it being tampering. And they let you know their plans. And then the third party will speak on their behalf when talking to the coaching staff. And you will get a confirmation. You will get an answer before you jump in the portal. And that's really important. I was talking to an FBS coach last offseason, and I asked him for advice on this exact scenario here. And he said, Rico, if you're advising players on the transfer portal, please advise them to have a landing spot before they enter the portal. So that happens. Okay. And that's happening all over America. And that's normal. We're doing it. It's okay, Mama. We're almost home. She's looking for something to drink. And we're doing it great. But there are some players who aren't informed on the process. It hasn't been talked about. And they jump in the portal with no landing spot. And those kids will die in the portal. Or they'll end up at a consolation point where they assumed they were going to get offers and they didn't. And then there's the third type of player, which is they didn't want to enter the portal, but the coach pushed them to the portal because their exit meeting cut. They're no longer on the team. They're recruiting miss. And they got rid of the player. So those are the spring portal. You'll see them redshirt freshmen in the spring portal. Most of those guys are exit meeting cuts. It's not that they don't want to compete. It's not that they don't want to be there. They didn't get homesick. They got cut by the coaching staff. They're no longer part of the plan. And it's happening all over America. And that's probably, I should keep track, but it's probably like 80% of the players in the spring transfer portal. Winter transfer portal, you're getting starters, all conference guys, FCS All-Americans, dudes who want to be a starter and get drafted and increase their draft stock. You're getting all the stars in the winter portal. Spring, you're getting guys that are a little more expensive because they're going to the highest bidder. They just did spring ball with their current team. Some guys have lost a position battle. Hell, some guys win a position battle. Justin Lamson won the number 2 quarterback job at Syracuse last year. And instead of staying at Syracuse, where he would have probably started games because of their injuries at quarterback, he transferred to Stanford. He tried to cash in on it. And more power to him, he's a California kid. And he wanted to go to Stanford because it's a really good degree program and all that. But, kids are doing what they do. So that's how that works. But yeah, you don't jump in there and hope coaches see your film. And it's also, let me be very clear. Most transfers are relationship driven, like 90% of them. So you're only going to get offered by another staff, for the most part, unless you're a huge name, who believes in you, who recruited you when you were coming out of high school, who still knows you, whatever it is. You're only going to get offered by those guys. Maybe your coach left your current team and he got hired at another team, something like that. But the portal is not for the under-recruited. The portal is not for the kids who went under the radar and didn't get noticed. That's not it, man. People who think that's what the portal's for, no, you better be over-recruited. You better have had 50 offers because you're about to only get 10. But if you were one of those under-recruited guys and you think they didn't know about me, they missed on me, nah, you better stay at your current school and become an all-conference player first. You better do something like that because it ain't going no other way. So that's that. That's how it works. Excuse me. Caleb Brown at Iowa was arrested on OWI yesterday. Suspected one-game suspension. Yeah, Rocco, I made a video on it on TikTok when it happened. I made a video on it about an hour afterwards. So if you want to go to TikTok and watch the video, I talked about it. Say it's not a big deal. For me, it is. I don't like people who drive and potentially put other people in danger. Underage drinking, don't care. Fake ID, don't care. Driving, while those things occur, I care. Now you're putting everybody else in danger. You want to be a loser by yourself in a room somewhere. I know, Rico, college kids drink, college kids underage drink. Yeah, none of that is what I'm talking about. It also doesn't justify the action. But yeah, I don't like it. Substandard decision making. You should be working on your craft, getting in the best shape of your life, focusing on your profession, but they don't have that type of drive. They don't have that type of maturity and focus. You know, there's somebody out there grinding for your spot, and you're out here drinking and driving. Don't like it. Refuse to take field sobriety tests. Don't like it. Spitting out my gum, y'all. We got about a mile to go. We're entering the dead zone soon. I might have to end the live. Apologies in advance. We usually lose service up here around the corner. So it's been nice talking to you guys. I watched your video on Alta McCasco. Do you think going to Arizona would have been a better move than ASU? No, Arizona's running back room is pretty loaded. Both running back rooms are pretty loaded. I don't think so. I think Arizona is probably a pass-first team, and Arizona State seems like they're going to rely on the run. So I think he's fine. You want to go where you're wanted and desired. I think he probably should have transferred to a group of 5 school and gotten the majority of the carries. That's what I think. I think if he transferred to a school like Tulane, well, not Tulane, they have a great running back. Maybe UAB, Troy, who you know uses their running backs. We just saw Northern Illinois, Wyoming, schools like that. And while Wyoming has Harrison Whaley, like I just think Northern Illinois has Brown. Like there's good running backs out there, but he could have went to Ohio in the MAC. Saban Gore just left. You know, they lost all 3 of their running backs. So it's just one of those things. But people are so infatuated with playing at the elite level, the Power 4 level. But I probably would have went to ECU, something like that, and got a bunch more carries. Thank you for the response, Rico. Truly appreciate it. You got it, Devon. Always, man. Appreciate you guys' support. Yeah, haven't been on TikTok much lately. I'll check it out for sure. Yeah, that makes 2 of us. I don't really get on any of those platforms lately. I'm just studying and getting ready for the NFL. I'm sorry, the college football season. That's what I'm doing. I hope you mentioned Brett Favre. Rocco, 100% mentioned Brett Favre in that video. There is a Brett Favre cameo in that video, and it's early. Thanks for going live. Always good insight and information. Appreciate it. You got it, man. I like talking to you guys. Somebody said my fall off needs to be studied. You guys don't understand. Every day, my platform grows. Every day, my MVPs grow. Every day, my life gets easier. I'm getting in better shape every day. Some people will be like, man, he's out of breath walking. Yeah, I ran before I got on this live. I run twice a day. I'm training hard. We're out here in 100-degree weather. How you feeling, sweetie? I can't hear you.
Tired.
Oh, okay. Good for a nap? You should take a nap today. I'll join you. Good girl. She's good. Leave her. Oh. Our girl's pooping. She's a little pooped out. Hardest hit seen in a football game. Let's do a search for Ray Malaluga USC hit. Ray Malaluga USC hit on YouTube. I forgot who he hit. Ray Malaluga hit somebody trying to go out of bounds a while back. Find that for sure. All right, y'all. It's been 30 minutes. Episode's done. Thanks for being here this morning. Appreciate all the love and support. Y'all stay up now. I'm out. Peace.